Hello guys and welcome back. We're back here and I think I'm just gonna continue the mission from last time. Try and get sheeps and stuff. Gonna look around here a little more, try and find them. And gonna continue the format from last time and talking about things that I did over the weekend. So we'll get started. This weekend, I attended a trip. Do you attend trips? I don't know. Sure. I attended a trip with the Society of Physics Students, basically the physics club at my school. Oh, look, sheeps. And we went over to LIGO. If you don't know what that is, it stands for Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, and that's a really cool place to have, just kind of right in our backyard here. It's maybe an hour and a half away from here, in Hanford, Washington. You may know that name from it being part of the Manhattan Project in World War II. They did a lot of plutonium production there, I think. Put that into a lot of weapons, nuclear reactors there. So a lot of scary, sciencey things going on there. But went over there and what LIGO does, as the name suggests, is it uses a giant interferometer, and I'll go into that in a minute because I know how to science, sort of, to use a giant interferometer to try to detect gravitational waves. And let's get out of here. Voice crack. So, I don't have any food anymore, do I? No. So we'll just eat this. Crunch, crunch, crunch. So, what do I do? What do I say next? I guess I'll start at the very beginning. What LIGO is trying to do is detect gravitational waves, like I said. The reason it's doing that is that a spider? I don't know. Gravitational waves were, well, not gravitational waves, but kind of the bending of space-time by gravity was predicted by Einstein in his theory of general relativity. And so being able to detect these changes, these ripples in space-time, would help to prove that. So that's what LIGO does. They try to detect these ripples. Let's go. So LIGO actually has two sites, one here in Hanford. Well, I'm not here in Hanford, but in Hanford, here in Washington. And the other is down in Livingston Parish, Louisiana. So they do that so they can get multiple tests for, follow me, for these, oh no, Lord. Double confirmation for the discovery of these gravitational waves that they hope to find. Voice crack. There are actually two other sites that they aren't related to LIGO, but they're doing basically the same thing, using interferometers to detect gravitational waves. One over in Italy called Virgo, and then one in Germany called Geo. And Mr. Cow, there you are. They're all doing basically the same thing. I think LIGO is the largest of these facilities. So basically what an interferometer is it, go inside. it fires a beam, a wave, down a line, and usually it's an electromagnetic wave. I don't know if they use other waves, actually. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. Let's go to bed. But they fire this beam, in this case a laser, down a tube, and it hits a beam splitter. So, oh no! Spits it. Did I breathe in the mic? I don't know. So it splits the beam into two paths. One that goes straight forward, and one that veers off 90 degrees or reflects. So it they go down there and then can't eat or can't move. So they go down, they hit a mirror at the end, each of these paths, and they come back to the beam splitter and they meet at a photo detector at the end. Maybe I'll put up like a little diagram or something to help demonstrate what I'm saying, but so let's see. LIGO, there are lots of ways you can do this on a smaller scale. LIGO and these others are doing them on like kilometer scales. LIGO, each of its arms, where it splits off from the beam splitter, is actually about 4 kilometers, which for us Americans is about 2.5 miles. So they're pretty big, and they're really pretty incredibly accurate too. Lord, these zombies! From the area where the laser is launched to the end mirror, I think, is the difference in height is they're accurate to about 1/16 of an inch. So, I mean, it's fairly accurate stuff. And just a sec. And we're back. They need to be really incredibly sensitive for what they're trying to detect, because these gravitational waves, they can make disturbances of up to about 10 to the minus 24th, I think, meters, which is about, I think, 1/10,000th of the width of a proton. So they're not big disturbances being made, and they have to detect these things that can be that small, 1/10,000th the width of a proton. So it has to be very sensitive. These detectors actually can they can detect like trucks on the roadway near them, or they can be disrupted on a very windy day because they move that much. But I think I got sidetracked. So, crunch, crunch, crunch. So the reason I was going to talk more about interferometers, I think, the reason an interferometer works the way it does is, and I'm very hungry. Why? I need food. The reason an interferometer works the way it does is because when two waves of the same frequency, Mr. Sheep, come together, they create an interference pattern. For instance, if they're the same frequency and they are in phase, it'll create a wave of about double the amplitude. But if they are out of phase from each other, the wave created will be basically a flat line, which means you don't get a wave, really. Come on. And there are other ways to explain this from other people who know more about it than I do, but with my lowly undergraduate physics education, this is kind of the best I can do. But, that's correct. So, basically this interferometer, they're using this giant 2-mile one, is, I believe it starts in phase, and then if it gets disturbed, they know how things happen. But the gravitational waves, we're going to talk about those now. They, you might be wondering, what are they caused by? Where do they come from? Well, I'm going to answer your question shoddily right now. They come from sometimes very dense objects, two very dense objects spiraling into each other. These dense objects are usually like neutron stars and black holes. Where's House? House is that way. There it is. And LIGO generally detects those best at around the 100 to 300 hertz range, I believe. And so that means that these... Oh, well, I didn't want to do that really, but okay. That means that these two objects that are spiraling into each other, it's either two neutron stars or two black holes, or a neutron star and a black hole. Oh, well, I got a cow. That other sheep didn't want to follow for some reason. But, so that means that these objects are spiraling into each other at around 1 to 300 times per second. So that's very fast. And so that spiraling causes these gravitational waves to go, move, and they're theorized to move at about the speed of light, I think, so they're also going fast. Supernovae can also cause these gravitational waves, so being able to see those and hopefully detect the waves, knowing that they're coming, that would be useful. There are also just random gravitational waves caused by the cosmic microwave background that I don't think are predictable. They can't be predicted. So that's those. But yeah, these devices are pretty ultra sensitive because they have to be. Oh well, now I'm surrounded. Get out of my way. Hey, I have cows for food now. Ah. But but yeah, sensitive equipment. It also costs quite a bit. Like I said, the mirror at the end of each arm costs about $400,000. Why am I coming in here? It's not sleep time. So they have 2 mirrors, which is a lot of monies. Oh, wait, what did I say, 400,000? Yes, $400,000. And, they have to have backups of all these, so they have a bunch of these mirrors. To get this pendulum, well, I just gave away the ending. To get this equipment to be as sensitive as it is, they have to basically isolate everything from the outside from any kind of any kind of noise, seismic noise, all sorts of these noises. And the way they do that for some things is they mount it on these big springs that will dampen any kind of noise from the outside. Oh, just a sec. And what was I saying? They mount like the laser and I think the beam splitter on these springs, these big springs and these hydraulics, and so that they preferably don't move at all. And they mount the mirrors on They want the mirrors they hang the mirrors from these quadruple pendulums that, I mean, you can basically move the top portion and the bottom doesn't move at all. So that there's preferably no movement. And so that when the gravity waves come through and they warp space-time, so they're warping the arm's lengths, crunch, crunch. You're able to detect that very accurately. You have to be able to. So, I didn't get all of what I wanted to say said, but maybe I'll just keep going and either make this 2 parts or just an extra special episode. So, let's keep going. Sun's going down. Let's keep hunting. We'll keep discussing things in the random order that I didn't want to discuss them in, but we'll do that anyway. So the laser they use, it's about a 200 watt laser. Jump, jump. And the interferometer I described, where it goes through the beam splitter, bounces back through the mirrors, recombines at the beam splitter, and goes to the photodetector. That's a pretty basic model for an interferometer. The one they use actually has a mirror in the middle of each arm, so it'll bounce through, go to the main mirror at the end, and then bounce back to the mirror in the middle, and then back and forth thousands or millions of times before it comes back to create resonance, and that'll give you better, more sensitive data. Come on, you. And and so that's how that works. Ah, Lord, these zombies. Let's go sleep. So, nope. Yeah, and what was I saying? They use the 200 watt laser. The reason they use such a powerful laser... Oh no, dang it. Ah, great. Get out of here. Is, of course, because it increases sensitivity. But the reason that they don't use a higher power laser than that, because they could, the reason they don't is because that will heat up the mirror and cause the mirror to warp at the end. Too much. And that's bad. They actually... Oh, well, how did I manage to sleep with you out there? So they don't want too high power because it could cause bad data. Oh, dang it. Gotta go kill some cows. And I'm being shot at. Nah, Lord. So, yeah. The lasers they have actually also heat up the mirrors and warp them. Oh, come on. Come on. So they actually have to compensate that by, I think, just using other lasers to warp it equally on the opposite side. And that helps. It's, oh Lord. There's some infighting going on over there. It's a very difficult process to get to heat a mirror exactly on two sides. It's very... Don't know what I was going to say there, but I probably should have said something. You and you. So, what was I saying? I need food. Come on, you. Oh, I actually, no. I was gonna say I'm gonna end it here, but I think I'll say a little more about it I know I've been incompetent so far, but I am saying it anyway. Foods. Oh, that was nice. So... Oh... Oh, good. Hmm. So, what else? Yeah, I think I'll mention some of the other things that can cause noise in the measurements that are taken. For instance, electromagnetic, anything electrical really can cause disruptions. So basically all electrical instruments have to be taken into account during during the planning of this. The Earth's magnetic field even can cause disturbances. There's also the necessity of having the tube that the lasers go through, having that in an ultra-high vacuum, because any particles in there, any dust or anything can cause slight disruptions in the laser and disruptions in your data. So these very sensitive machines. I think that I'm going to start to end the episode here, but not yet. Another, I guess, attempt at this kind of detecting gravitational waves would be LISA, which is, I don't know the acronym, Laser Interferometer Satellite Space. I don't know, I should have looked that up better. But it's basically a space-based LIGO that would try to detect it without some of the disturbances caused by things on Earth, like trucks on the road and things. So I don't think that one's funded quite yet, or no, what it is that NASA couldn't fund it, but it was going to be a joint project with NASA and the European Space Agency. Is that what it's called? I don't know what it's called, but now it's just Europe doing it and not NASA, which is sad because NASA needs funding. Why can't they just fund science? Whatever. Yeah, I think I'm going to end the episode here. It's been a little longer than I usually like, but I was really excited and I didn't say most of what I should have said or wanted to say, but I would like to get better at doing that, so maybe I'll try to do more of these, or maybe I was just terrible enough that I don't want to do more of these, but we'll see. I'll see what goes on. I like science. I don't know that I've said this before, but I'm actually studying physics, and I like it. I'm just incompetent at conversing. So, like I said before, I'm going to let you go now, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys.